This is Matt Dunlap, 2011 Equinox Marathon men's champion, and doing a quick interview here to see what his plans are for this year, the 2012 50th running, and his thoughts on last year. So, Matt, you were a little bit of a surprise winner last year. When did you start focusing on last year's marathon, and when, prior to the race and during the race, did you think that you might be the winner?
So this is, last year's my third Equinox. I was here for my third Equinox, and 2 years ago when the second one happened, I kind of made a commitment to wanting to run it the next year because I saw how awesome it was and saw how much everybody got into it, and felt that if I was in Fairbanks I really needed to take a part in this awesome event. And then midwinter I had a meeting with a student athlete, and Scott and I, and the student athlete kind of called me out in December and said, "Are you going to run it?" And I said, "I'll commit to it right now." So I guess officially in December, but kind of two Equinox ago I decided I wanted to run last year.
And when did you start your serious training for last year's race?
Serious training probably started in the middle of the summer. Or actually, serious summer, middle of, or at the end of the ski season in March and April, I started running again consistently, and then throughout the summer it ramped it up.
Okay. Did you do much training on the Equinox course itself?
Of course I did. But I highly suggest that anybody that's running the Equinox for the first time checks out the course. Strongly suggest that.
When you started last year's race in the morning, were you thinking about winning or a particular time, or just going to kind of see how things went?
Time-wise, I wanted to run around 250. Actually, I wanted to break 250, and I thought that I could maybe be in top 3, realistically. And then coming off the trail on like St. Patty's and Henderson there, I started to pull away from some of the guys, and that's when I thought that I had a shot of getting the victory.
Was that the biggest race you'd ever won?
That was the biggest race I've ever won, yep.
And motivated you to return for this year and try to knock a minute and a half off your time?
Yeah, I would like to come back and run and break, try to break 250 if I can, and I think if I can break 250, it'll put me in a good spot.
All right. How much, what's your training been like this summer?
This summer I was a little spotty at times. I was working at the Olympic trials for a good month or so, so I trained when I could. Luckily I was working with 2 runners, so I was able to run more than I thought I'd be able to. And I kind of made up for that by having some bigger weeks after the trials and in the later part of the summer, and been pretty good since I've been back in Fairbanks. So. And
put in any 100-mile weeks?
A few.
And since you got back to Fairbanks in the last few weeks, have you been running Esterdome or the Marathon Trail much?
I've run the trail. I've run the trail a little bit. I have not run Esterdome.
So you haven't run the new 9-mile reroute and 21.5-mile reroutes?
I have not. I think that a couple years ago I did run the old 21-mile section. So I do have to still check out the new part going up Esterdome, which I definitely plan on doing.
All right. Anything? Any general comments about the Equinox or what you're looking forward to in this year's race? Who you think your big competition will be?
Yeah, I mean, you hear how this marathon's small or smaller than most, but you hear that it's really a community event, and I didn't really know what that meant until I ran last year. And you go out and run, and you see certain community members out there 10, 12, 15 times throughout 26 miles. And I think it's just a really neat community event, and people really get into it, and everybody's got their support, and everybody's really nice and supportive, and I'm really looking forward just to running out there and seeing the whole town of Fairbanks out there.
And who do you think will be up in front of the men's field? What other guys do you think will be pushing you?
Unfortunately, I've been told my good friend Chris Eversman won't be there.
No.
He's doing New York.
Oh.
Which I'm disappointed about.
Yep.
But I expect Matthias to be up there, and especially for the 50th and his book coming out, I expect him to be in very good shape and going for the win. And besides that, I haven't done a whole lot of research on who's going to be there, but I know that if I go out and run my own race and try to break 250, I can put myself in a good position, I think.
All right, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Matt.
John.
Good luck this year.
Thank you.